Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to add a laser to your hobby CNC. I've got Michael Chipser as my guest tonight, and he has, from what I understand, got his working really well with the what is it, the PWM? Is that what they
Yeah,
call it?
so they have a module that allows you to call it PWM, but it's actually step in direction, converting your Z-axis step in direction into power depth, power. Not, the deeper the power, the more power. Yeah,
Yeah. Now, does yours go from like 1 to 10? Is that how you're using it?
mine's from 0 to 255.
Okay. Okay.
Like negative.
Alrighty. I've also got my buddy Javi over here is going to be watching, helping me watch the chat. And Javi, I got a feeling we're going to have uh, a lot of questions tonight about different things. So I've got it blown up over here on a laptop as well. So
I'm ready to go.
Trying to keep up with that. A couple of things I want to mention real quick before we get started with Michael is I want to wish a very happy birthday to Mr. Michael Mertzke. Today was his birthday today. I don't know how old he is, 40 something probably. I don't know. I don't really know. He's a lot younger than I am. I know that much. So happy birthday, Mr. Mertzke. And let's see what else. I've got a question that I don't know if he's in the chat. I don't see the name over there just yet. Hey, John from Australia. Glad you're on here tonight. But Rob Schuster sent me or no, I guess he put it on Facebook where he said he probably wouldn't be able to watch it live, but he would have a question. So I've got it copied, and we'll get to that in a minute too. But also, I wanted to share something with you. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it first, and then I'll go share my screen. If I can remember where I put it. That's always the problem with me. I can't remember where I put stuff.
You just need to throw it in a big room like I do, and then never worry about it ever again.
Yeah. Okay. No. Well, I thought that's where they were. Dang it. Let's see. Maybe it's in this one. Nope. Well, nuts. Most of the time, I can't remember what I call stuff either when I save it. Well, maybe we'll get to this at the end of the show because I thought I knew right where I put them, and apparently my dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever it is I'm getting is oh well. I'll hunt for those while we get Michael talking and see if I can figure out where I put them. Thought for sure I knew right where they were at. Oh well. Okay. Okay. Well, Michael, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I might reveal that a little later in the show, Gary. He's asking what my latest rabbit hole is. I've got it right here. If anybody wants to see it, I thought somebody might ask, but we'll save that for a little later. Yeah, Jerry Brown says it looks nice and cool in your shop, Chipser.
Yeah.
Okay, well let me lock it on Michael, and you can just kind of me and Javi will be watching the chat, but just first of all, I guess let me take it back off of you again just for a second, because I did want to show you that because I know Michael's got a camera where he can point to his, but just so everybody get a good close-up look at it. This is basically what we're going to be talking about tonight because Michael's got the exact same thing. This is the 2.8 from JTech Photonics, and I just mounted mine on a piece of 3/8 HDPE, and I just put, the router mount things go right here. So I, use this in place of the router. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Now let me put it back on you, Michael, and tell us how you got this fantastic thing to work.
Oh, so first let me say my laser from JTech Photonics, same one Dave has. The company as a whole is a great company. My laser actually died and I was in the middle of a project. I emailed Jay, called Jay.
We're losing
Overnighted me one.
Michael. I don't know if there's anything, wiggle a wire or something, but we're losing.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Nope. Now there's no audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but oh, not now.
Me.
And we lost him.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, don't hit that button.
Sometimes you got to leave and come back to fix things.
Yep.
Maybe that will work. Yeah, they're saying in the chat it was kind of choppy. So
Welcome back.
Mr. Lute's in the house. How are you, William? Good to see you. Okay. Do we have audio on you, Michael? Nope.
Nope. No, not yet. Wait. Yes, now we do.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
All right, so
back on you.
So the company JTech as a whole is a great company. My laser went out, and I bought this laser almost 2 years ago. Laser went out 2 weeks ago. I called Jay and emailed Jay, and he overnighted me a new laser the next day. I was in the middle of a project, had to get it out. So he didn't charge me a thing either. So excellent company to work with. Now, when I first got the laser, setting it up was difficult. Getting everything, I spent days learning how to get it to work, and I tried to get it to work without the Backboard for grayscale projects. So you could do a range of 0 to 255, or in Dave's case, what he was talking about, 0 to 10. And there's a board that they sell. It's $130, I believe. It's called the Backboard, the DAC, and it converts your analog Z motion signals to depth power burn. So the deeper the depth of a carve, the more intense the laser would be, and the lighter the depth of the carve, the less intense. So you get the shading and that kind of stuff. And this goes to a point that I've always mentioned. If you are going to, when you buy your motion controller and you have a relay and you have limit switches, you're going to need an extra 3 pins for the DAC board. It's not the 2 pins like before, it's 3 pins. So you have to have an extra output pin. So that if you're going to add a laser later on, that may go into your decision-making process for a motion controller. So UC100, if you have all those other things, they will not work because you're going to run out of pins. So you have a step of direction and an enable pin on the DAC board. Regularly without the DAC board, you can still use the laser. It's just an on-off 250 max power, no power. And it only uses 2 pins on and off. And saying that, this is one thing that I don't like about Mach 3, the only thing I've ever found. You only need the DAC board if you're using Mach 3 or UC CNC. If you're using a gerbil controller, you don't need it. So if you have an X-Carve or a Shapeoko, that kind of thing, you don't need it. Probably a Raspberry Pi as well. You won't need the DAC board to get the PWM control. I think that's it. If anybody has any questions. Trying to think. Oh, and I put my wiring diagram online on the Gatton Facebook group, so you can see how mine is exactly wired through my breakout boards and through my motion controller.
In anticipation of somebody's question, and partially because I don't know, what's a DAC board and what's a PVM?
So PWM is pulse width modulation. Normally it's for, like, if you have a spindle, that's what controls the speed of the spindle from 0 to 20,000. DAC, I don't know what it stands for. It's like digital analog converter or something like that.
Mhm.
I can look it up, but I think that's what it stands for.
Sounds about right.
Sorry, it's very hot in here. I'm thirsty. There was something else I just thought of. Oh, if you have the DAC board, you can still do on and off 0 to 255. You could do max power, less power, or you could do any variation in between. And when you're setting up the DAC board, what he recommends is you dial the laser in to where it just barely starts burning whatever material you're using, and that is going to be your 0 point. Then you have 0 to 255 from that point. So it's very light gray to very dark black. And each material is different. When I was testing mine at first, I think I threw it away. I was using MDF, and I sent Jay an email. I was like, dude, this thing's terrible. You know, I got some grayscale, but I don't have a lot. And he's like, well, you're using MDF. You know, the glue in MDF is going to affect how the laser burns. Try something different. So I tried a piece of Popular, and it worked great. I don't have it here though. The only thing I have here at the house that I made with the laser is this. Let me switch my screen around. Come on. If I can. Now there's no option for it. Anyway, so it says my last name, and it's just a image that I found on Etsy or something. I don't know. And this is to test. We got stacks of this bamboo stuff, and then I made on the back. You can see my logo lasered in there as well, and my Facebook. Can't really see that, but that's the only thing in my house that I have lasered on. Any other question? Any questions in the chat or?
Michael, I have one for you. While you've been talking, I've got the JTech Photonic website up in the background here.
Okay.
I'm looking, and I see a little board that says Pick Convert. Is that the same thing as what you're talking about? Is that what you're calling?
Yeah, that's the same thing as the DAC board. So when you buy the DAC board, you can use. They sell an application called Pick Engrave, I believe, on JTech's website. But there's another application package that is included with Pick Engrave is a small subset of another package that someone else sells, and I think the license for Pick Engrave is $30, whereas the license for the other one's like $60 or $70.
Mm-hmm. So, are you using? No, have you done anything like? I want to say kind of like a photo where you're using the dark and light.
I have, and let me see if I can find the. Like I said, I don't have any of that stuff here, but while we're talking, I'll try to find the email that I sent to JTech, and I can hold it up to the screen and show you. Because it was a photo of a house, I think I did.
So
because
what I was going to ask you is, what are you using to generate that G code for that?
So that is that application, Pick Engrave, and there's a license that you can buy from the JTech website.
Okay.
And I think it's $29. And if you look at the Pick Engrave documentation, or I'm sorry, the Pick Convert board documentation, the DAC board documentation, it tells you exactly how to set it up and the settings for Pick Engrave.
Yeah. There's a similar program that when I was in the business for a number of years, I have my the 100-watt laser burned. It's currently in storage, waiting for me to get around to fixing it. There's a program called Photograph, which is I would say it's commercial, but it's pretty cheap for being commercial. I think it's only 150, and it is probably the most versatile program, because not only it will convert all types of grayscale images to laserable bitmap, simple 2-bit images, and for you put in you can actually adjust the resolution and the variation for just about any laser, and it basically pixelates the image, but specific, so the laser will look like an image.
Ray Dixon over there says digital analog controller is, I guess, what DAC stands for. So thanks, Raymond, for clearing that up for us. We've got a question. Well, I see one from Dave Mack down here. He wants to know the advantage of getting a more powerful laser, because they do sound more powerful than the 2.8.
So from at least the JTech stuff, from my understanding, they sell two lasers, the 2.8, the 3.8, and I think a 5 watt, but that one is technically only for what CNC does Manring have?
No, the Axiom.
The Axiom. They have one special for the Axiom. I think it's a 5 watt. And my understanding, the beam is wider, so you're gonna get less detail, but you can go faster. And also, when you step up in wattage, so a commercial laser like Javi's talking about, you can actually cut through things. Whereas right now with these, we're only going to be engraving anything, unless it's a piece of paper
everything
or vinyl,
from a 30 watt. Everything from a 30 watt laser on up will be able to cut through at least an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch. My 100 watt can easily do 1/2 inch of wood, plywood.
Right.
And
so I found that image while you're talking.
Sweet.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
All right, let me hit you.
This is the email I sent. This is the email I sent Jay, and I was like, "Hey, I'm having issues." And he's like, "It looks good. You just need to use a different. You don't even need to use MDF."
Yeah.
Yep. So you can see like the roof is a different color grade and all that.
The only other difference between the high-end lasers, because there's some lasers, the Chinese lasers that they sell 40 up to 100 watt for in the 2,000 to 3,000 range. The only difference between that and the one I have, which is a little more industrial, a little more commercial, which is a $20,000 laser, is nothing more than precision. I mean, it is just
and speed. Like those things go
and
crazy
speed.
fast.
I mean, mine's on very tight belts, and it flies. But short of that, I mean, and they've come down in price considerably. Mine was purchased back in 2005, 2007. So something comparable to mine would only run somewhere in the neighborhood of 7,000 or 8,000 now.
Yeah, my goal in the next year is to buy the same laser that Chad has, and it's a Boss.
It's a Boss,
and it's about $8,000 or so, 100 watt.
No, 3,000. That one's 3,000.
Oh, well, even better. Maybe I can do it in 6 months then.
You can buy it today then, Michael. Come on.
It's only money.
Yeah. Jim Bashir's, good to see you over there in chat, buddy. He says, what power rating is too much for a diode laser and you need to go to a tube?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they sell them over 10 or so watts for a diode laser, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I haven't seen any bigger than that.
I think 10 watts the biggest I've seen. And then a tube, 30 watt is the smallest I've seen. Maybe
they have 20 watt lasers also. They have 20 watts in tubes, and they go upwards of just about anything.
Well, they go up to anything. I mean, they'll start cutting metal at one point, and it's
and then and those are oil. They go from air cooled. Well, you can get air cooled all the way up to about 100 watt. And then after that, and everything from 40 watt up you can also get water cooled.
Water cooled.
Oil cooled, I think, starts at about 150 or 200 watt.
Yeah, and then the price skyrockets.
And Freon, and I mean, Puron, whatever they call it, the cooling is now.
Okay, somebody up there, I may have already scrolled by. I think. Oh no.
Let me.
go
ahead.
What is it? KTWSC, I think, says, can you show what you're talking about? I think he'd like to see if you can show your Backboard and or just go ahead and fire it up if you got it ready, Michael, and give us a little demonstration.
See if your camera will switch over.
Yeah, let me try to do that.
Folks, it was working earlier, believe me.
Right? It was working earlier.
Before we went live, we had a beautiful picture.
As soon as we go live.
My audio stopped working as soon as we went live. Man, I tell you.
Out of curiosity, do either of you know what is a plasma head run for? Well, for a CNC frame.
They're not.
I don't know.
Terribly
I know normally a plasma cutter is like 3,000, 3,500 for a good one. When I was looking into plasma cutters. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a screen share of a camera. I have a camera. I don't know if you can see it, but that little thing right there. We're gonna see maybe. Come on. Oh, I gotta. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay. So I made a little demo of my logo, and in Mach 3, it's already zeroed out. It's my profile, my G code's already loaded. And let me say this: this G code was created in Aspire or VCarve Pro. It was not made in that pick engrave. So if you're gonna do only on off, full power, no power, you don't need pick engrave. If you already have VCarve Pro, oh look, the camera's already not working. If you already have VCarve Pro, it'll work.
Now, are you using the quick engrave function in VCarve Pro or?
I'm not, because why is the camera? This is why it was only $25. All right, what am I doing here? Let me recycle this camera. I think it's getting too hot.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Yeah. All right. So I have it in this little sleeve. Let me take it out of the sleeve and maybe it'll cool off. There we go.
Okay, we have video now.
Oh, what is that of?
Of
Oh,
your,
it says no signal. All right. So while we're waiting for that turn back on, let me show you. So you should be able to see what I'm doing
Becca
here.
Miller wants to know if you know of any good IT guy.
No, I don't. So let me go to the Gatton CNC Facebook group. If you're not part of it, you should go join it. And I just want to, you guys can see what I'm doing, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to this. I posted a little review of the different. Okay. So the bottom left corner next to the outlet is the DAC board. If you guys can see that.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
And it's running, and that actually is running to the breakout board in the top right, the original Xylotex breakout board that they used to sell the pass-through.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that breakout board's doing right now, because the one in the middle is set up for all 5 of my axis, the 3+1 for the Y, and then an A axis eventually.
Okay. That one in the middle, is that your UC 400 ET?
No, the yellow thing on the right-hand side is the UC
Oh, okay.
400.
I see it. Yeah.
And then the blue and green is a breakout. It's a 5-axis breakout board with the relay control for your router. So that breakout board, that DAC board at the bottom left, it won't look like that. It has a little 3D printed shield that goes over it, but I took it off because it put it in my control box to screw it down to the wood.
Yeah, I've got a link, I believe, to the JTech Photonic website in the show description. So if anybody wants to check that out, you can click on that link and it should take you right to it.
Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing real quick. See if the camera's back up. That camera's hooked up through my home security stuff, so I don't need everybody seeing everything. It's at the house. All the cameras. All right, screen share again. Oh, what the heck? It just showed signal. Yeah, I can feel this thing and it's hot. I should have recorded the demo.
Yeah, a lot. It's not surprising to me you're having different kinds of problems with the temperature as high as
Dude,
it is out there.
it's 100. I think it's 8 right now. 108. Oh, look, it's coming. Kind of. It's going in and out.
Yeah.
Well, I had a demo ready for you guys. Sorry, that kind of.
Okay. Well, let me go find Rob Schuster's question and see if we can get that answered. He says here. He says, "Hey Dave, I don't think I'll be watching the show live tonight. Let's see. I have a question about lasers for the show. I've done quite a few books/Bibles. You know, the wooden where it's like you 3D carve it like a book.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?" And he says, "I'm curious if a laser can do a good job with text on a 3D surface like this. I have had good results with a 45-degree V-bit, but I think I have it as detailed as possible with a bit. Can a laser do better?"
The laser can do better, in my opinion, because the tip of the bit is like, or the tip of the laser is 0.001, I think is what mine is, or 0.002. So it can get way more detailed. And as long as you have that V-carve or that profile on in Aspire or V-carve, it should find. So the laser's working now, kind of. I mean, the screen should be working somewhat.
Yeah.
There it goes. Nice.
Kind of. It's jumping around, but
Yeah.
so this demo worked flawlessly before the show started, guys. I just want everyone to know that.
Okay, I think Dave, did you screen? Did you? I'm sorry, I'm looking delayed at the.
We've got Michael presented. Is that?
I was just double checking because I guess the delay.
Yeah, it's
Or here, you know what I can do? Let me log in with my phone, and then I can just screen share that, or you can put that one on.
That'll work.
always more than one way to skin a cat.
I'll just have to mute it. Oops. It's almost done. All right, where's the how do I switch my video around?
Oh, let's see here. I just remembered where I saved those.
There's up on the top. Yeah, you got it.
I got it. All right, so crap, where'd it go? This new technology, man, I'm telling you, it's killing me.
That newfangled phone. Why don't you get a flip phone? Oh. Be right back.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Grant Clark wants to know, can you use a laser on leather? Have you ever done
Yes,
leather?
yes you can. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute my. Come on. Yes, you can. So on JTech's website, there's a link at the top right that says applications, or so, I think that's the right word, and it goes through a bunch of different things that they've done: etching on plastic, etching on aluminum, doing on leather, cutting foam.
Yeah, you can really use a laser on a lot of different things.
All right, so I need to save it. All right, Dave, if you want to.
Oh, I need to take it off of you?
Put it on my. I just joined another stream.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Let me see it.
We
Just
got
do this backwards. Okay, so I'm gonna move my machine. Let me click on. There we go. And it's gonna be backwards, but I'm gonna re-zero, and that way you guys can see the whole process.
yeah. This is going to work pretty good, I think.
All right. Okay, so here we go. It's probably gonna be upside down or backwards since you guys are. Can you guys see that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Keith Allen wants to know, does the laser stay on the CNC at all times, or do you install it each time you want to use it?
So for mine, I can show you. I have it hooked up to this, just a little L bracket. I don't know if you can see that right there.
Yeah, so you pretty much leave it
So
on there. all the
mine
time?
just leaves. Mine's there all the time. And so, like on that bamboo cutting board thing, I'd finish a project, whether it be on the CNC or not, and I can just throw it on here, flip it over, brand it, and be done.
Grant is asking if you could use it on leather. That's an easy one.
Yes, we just went over that.
Oh, sorry about that. I must have missed that one.
Wait.
I think
Just the only thing you got to do is Grant. Well, I don't know. Again, I hope I'm not repeating what you guys said, but you got to just be very careful with the power output, because even with this little laser, you can actually cut the top layer of leather rather than
right.
burnishing it.
Carlo has a question for you, Mike. He says the file that you shared in Dave Gatton CNC on Facebook, is the chipser laser profile file what you put in the post processor file to run the laser?
That is my XML profile for Mach 3. If you're buying the JTech laser, they provide two different post processors, for you. One is to use the M3, M4, M5 commands, but there's been a notice of a slight delay when it does a process and it'll pause for a couple seconds. And Mirsky mentioned this in last week or the week before last. And another profile that uses the M10, M11 commands, which the delay is not there. It's just an alternate way to. So it looks like it missed a step or something, or did it twice for some reason, but there it is, the one we just did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's when I was messing around with showing you guys the L bracket.
Mike, can you just real quick show the glasses that come with the kit? Because some people were asking about eye protection. You get those pretty little red glasses.
So they're on the screen right now. It comes with these little glasses, and I'll show you. Here we go. Look at this. Technology is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Except I just went back. There, I forgot I had a mount for my phone and a tripod right here.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, Keith was asking, joking around about, so it engraves on leather, so we can get a tattoo. It's funny because I've heard that joke a few times over, and I always wonder, why do people assume that a laser can tattoo? Because tattoo is ink, and I never connected two and two together.
So, from what I understand, if you touch, I've never touched it, but if you touch it, from what I understand, it feels like a bee sting.
Yeah, it's a. Have you ever had? Let's put it this way: have you ever had? I know because I've done it with a 40-watt laser on low. Thank goodness. Have you ever had CA glue and then accidentally sprayed activator way too close to your skin?
Oh yeah, and the skin goes crazy hot.
Ooh, yeah, a major burn. Well, that's it. Instant blister. If not worse.
All right, so I have that on the tripod now, so I don't have to stand over there. Dave, if you can lock it back onto the. There you go. So it comes with these fancy little lasers, and I'll start the laser again and hold it up to the camera. Basically these glasses block out all blue light. So if you look outside, it looks weird and all kinds of crazy stuff. But let me zero this and run it again. And
Yeah, Michael,
I'll hold this over.
If you would too, I mean, the glasses came with it. The just kind of show everybody what comes with the kit you bought, and I'm sure people are going to want to know how much that one costs.
Okay, so what I bought, you can see it. It's the same thing, Dave. You can see it right here. It comes with this. This is called the laser driver. And here's this black and red wire right here is the wires going to a normal breakout board if you don't have the DAC board. And then this top wire goes down to the fan. This fan is an upgrade, so make sure you buy that. It comes with a fan.
Yeah, I don't understand why you didn't sell that with the thing.
I don't understand why either, but fan's an upgrade. It keeps the laser cool. And then this bottom wire here goes to the laser itself. So if you notice the laser, and it has little actual screw down terminals instead of the clips if you wanted to use that. So for your money, I think it was $350, Dave, is that right? $325?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
What you're going to get is,
well, let's see. Let me go back. I have that.
So what you're going to get for that $350 with the, I think it's $350 with the fan upgrade is the laser fan module and this board up here. If you can see that. Yeah. And then a power supply to it. And that's it. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah. Rob Hampton was asking if you can use the laser to print with foil, for instance, gold letters. I know I'm not, I'll answer it as far as the commercial ones. Definitely you can. And you got to use it on extremely low power basically it's heat transferable foil. Have you ever done any of that, Michael?
I have not. Sorry, I was drinking some water. I've never used.
Mm-hmm.
I've done leather. I've done the front of notebooks for my daughter and my wife, and I've done wood. That's it. That's all I've done.
Michael, I'm over at the website, and we were, here we were just fussing about when me and you bought it, we had to buy the fan extra, but now it's saying the 2.8 watt laser and 2.5 amp safety compliant kit is from $334.99 to $344.99, and it now shows the fan being included.
Oh,
in the fan.
So there you go. That's even better.
Yeah, that's
so for $350 roughly after tax, shipping, and all that.
Basically $350.
You'll get the laser, the fan, and the laser driver, which is I have mounted on the top of my Z box. Very similar to how Dave has his setup, except my router is where his laser is, and my laser's to the right hand side.
Yeah, I just mounted mine on a board because, since I have more than one CNC, it's easier for me to just keep one set up for a laser and
not
have to change it back and forth. Plus, I was kind of worried about the dust and stuff getting on it. But
and that could be why mine died prematurely. But I know Mike Mursky. I mean, he uses his laser a lot, and he has set up just the same way mine is. I copied from him, so I mean. Of course, this shop is immaculate all time. So
yeah,
maybe that's
true. Okay. Do we have any other questions for Michael out there in the chat? I'm glad we got the phone deal or whatever that was.
So you're talking about other CNCs. I'm thinking about moving the laser to my other CNC. I don't know. You can see it on the phone, Dave, if you want to push it to the phone one.
Let me switch you back over here.
So there's my new little, it's only 12 inches by 10 inches cut area, but it's very fast. It's all on linear rails and whatnot. It's made in Germany. So
yeah,
I may add it to that. I may add the laser to that. I don't know yet.
Lyle wants to know if the 2.8 watt kit would cut light ply and balsa for RC kits?
I think it might, but you might have to do multiple passes.
Yeah,
And I think they go over that
for
on the
very
website.
thin,
It shows that.
for very thin 1/8" balsa with multiple passes, you'll be able to. But
yeah, it's kind of
depending
like
on the precision of your machine, you're better off using a knife, an X-Acto knife.
yeah, and
Right.
it's kind of like trying to cut, aluminum with thing too. You can do it, but it's just going to take a bunch of passes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the JTech website, and if you look at their blog, even under applications, they don't show everything. But if you look at the blog button, they go through a bunch of stuff. So here's one cutting open cell foam. So if you have a diagram of a pistol and you want to do a foam insert with a pistol example, you can cut exactly the shape of the pistol. Here's one cutting acrylic, cutting acrylic with the 2.8 watt.
Yeah. Jeff was also asking if Jeff Connor was asking if he asked it before. I missed it. It will sawdust or dust affect the laser?
I haven't had any issues, but like I said, my laser died a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that could have been the cause. But when I talked to Jay, he said something internal normally goes out, and
well, it will affect if you have sawdust on the lens. What happens is the following, Jeff. Sawdust will not affect it in as far as it'll burn off, but the problem happens when you actually have dust and everything on the lens. You have to always keep that lens clean. There's alcohol swabs that do that because sawdust creates soot, and soot will completely dampen the lens and kill the effectiveness of the laser over time.
So for the balsa wood question, on JTech's website on the blog, there's a section cutting 1/8", 1/16", and 1/32 inch hobby balsa wood with a 1.7 watt. So the 2.8 would be perfect. It says it cuts 1/8 inch in 3 passes at 150 millimeters a minute. Convert that to inches and have a good day.
Yep.
And then at 1/32, it cuts with 1 pass, but cleaner at 2 passes, it says. So it can do it. This is with the 1.7, so the 2.8 shouldn't have any issues cutting it.
Yeah, and you know this as well, Michael, but when you're using that little 2.8 watt and you're doing a picture or something, when you make a line, you can take your fingernail and tell that it's actually it's engraved in there. Tiny groove. It may not be but just a few thou deep, but it's doing it. So theoretically you could cut through, whatever, if you got enough time.
Yeah. I mean, so
catch it on fire or one or the other.
So the goal is, at least the 2.8 watt laser, you have it's dialed in at 3 inches from the factory. The 3.8 is dialed in at 1.5 inches. So every time you go around it, you have to lower the laser, I don't know, 1 thou or 2 thou or something. And then it'll go around again, cut, lower, go around again. So you're limited by the depth and then the physics of what happens after, is it cave in or not cave in? Anyway, 3-4 passes should cut most of the small balsa hobby stuff.
Yeah. The only issue, well, it might be different on those small lasers. Michael, the laser beam, there's no lens on that thing focusing it. It's basically one solid beam, correct?
No, you can adjust the beam.
There's a lens
on the.
There is a lens. There is a focusing lens.
If you switch back to Dave, if you switch back to my camera or the phone camera.
Let's see.
Let me see if I can point it out.
Are you there? Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm not see it yet. All right, so right under here, there's this little brass thumb screw.
Right.
And that's actually the lens that you can adjust in and out.
Gotcha. Because I know with the with the bigger lasers, you have different lenses which will give you a different focal point.
A different focal length, right?
And what'll happen is, people say, well, if you raise it or lower it, you can slice anything.
Right.
While technically that's true, what happens is when the lens focuses. So imagine, if you will, the pattern starting at, say, 0.1 of an inch, which is the thickness of a powerful laser, going down to 0.002 and then back out again because it's
Right.
it's focusing.
Oh,
So
that makes
during
sense.
that section where that little section is, it will focus. But let's say this is your 3/4 inch plywood and you are cutting.
So you're saying it may flare. It won't be exactly 90 degrees. It'll flare out.
Right, exactly.
kind of
So
deal.
when you're cutting here, that's not a problem. When you're cutting the very tip, you're going to cut it, you're going to slice. But the deeper in you go, by the time you, and of course, it doesn't work. By the time you get to the center section, you're not going to be cutting a straight line. I don't even know if you could see that. You're actually cutting out a large swath.
Right.
So because I know because there have been, while my old laser can cut a 1/2 inch plexiglass or a 3/4 inch plexiglass with no issue, if you look at the side of it, it's the side that it's cut is a curve. Because there's only just so much of it that's focused and straight, and the rest comes in at an angle at a weaker power because it's not focused.
So is that with diodes and is that all lasers or just?
That's all lasers, but that's
Okay.
why I was asking if yours was straight, because if you have a like. I know with the laser tube itself, because I've had to refocus all the lenses. We have all the mirrors. We have basically it's like a CNC machine. The laser's located in the guts of the machine. It gets shot up, across, and then down the gantry and down. So there are lasers that follow the path because it has to be. The laser's huge. Well, I have remove the first laser and open the side of the box just to shoot it all the way across the room to a piece of wood to test the laser, and it was about maybe 40-50 feet, and the dot was say 1/2 an inch big, but it started somewhere in the neighborhood of 1/10 of an inch. And it got bigger. While a perfect laser would be, there's really no such thing, but a perfect laser would be theoretically straight. The laser tube, they do tend to expand a little bit. So what I was getting at is if you have a thin enough diode where it starts off thin and it is straight for enough time, you could conceivably cut a straight line.
Jerry,
Yeah, I don't know.
I would agree with you. He says Javi needs a whiteboard. I'd be willing to bet if we tied your hands behind your back, you couldn't talk.
I could not.
Hey, Dave, I think you still have it locked in on the CNC right now. So I don't think if anybody saw what Javi was talking about.
Even better, they never saw my.
You had to click on it. You had to click on it.
No, they saw me. I think I'm looking at the past.
Got a couple more questions real quick before we run out of time here. Larry Duggar, how you doing, buddy? He says, what are the advantages over the 3.8 or of the 3.8 over the 2.8?
So we went over this a little bit. So the main advantage is that you can run it faster. If you're gonna do a carve or a cutout, you can cut it out faster. That's the only difference.
And just so you know, Larry, the 3.8 is about $130
right?
more than the 2.8.
Oh, I thought it was 450, so it's about 480. Wow.
Yeah, it's 474 or something. So
okay,
if that extra speed is worth,
that's the only difference. And there's a major disadvantage. I mean, you're talking thousandths of an inch, but it's not going to be as detailed as the 2.8 because the beam is wider.
Yeah, let's see. There was another question there too. Okay, Keith Allen says, Mike, if you had to do it all over again, would you still buy the same stuff, or what would you change?
At the time of buying, when I bought it, it was the best bang for your buck, in my opinion, because at the time there was no small hobby lasers that were in the price range as the JTech. Today, I think there's 5 or 6 different Chinese manufacturers that have cheaper lasers, but at the same time, I won't get the support like I do from JTech. So looking back, I mean, the support's been great, the laser's been great. I think I would have done the same decision. But in saying that, I do want to buy a real laser, a 100-watt or a 50-watt something, so I can do cutouts or engraving in metals, like Chad. I can't ever pronounce his last name, but like Chad does.
Gross claws.
Gross claws. Yeah.
Yeah. Just think of a very sick Santa Claus.
The
Gross
tough
claws.
powder coating guy.
The guy that has a giant pole to get wasps out of trees.
Yeah.
And makes these wonderful engraved, without the googly eyes, man crafting cups. For those of you that don't have one, go to mancrafting.com, tm.com.
Yeah. Hey, we got Drew Oxford in the house.
What's
How's
up, Drew?
Going, Drew?
How's the new house coming? New shop coming?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What other questions we got over there?
Well, Landis is asking if you could repeat what you need for the PWM control.
So the PWM or the DAC board, you're going to need 3 output pins on a breakout board. One is your step, one is your direction, and one is your enable pin. So if you have a UC100 and all your output pins are already taken, you got to get a different motion controller. I think if you have a stock Xylatex and no limit switches, no relay, you'll be fine. Even with the relay, I think you'll be fine.
Okay. What are they saying over there? Jerry says, Drew, his new rabbit hole is razor blades in the mail, and Dave is still waiting.
I think my phone died. It overheated or something too. And everything's overheating.
Yeah. We're waiting for you to pass out.
Give me another 20 minutes, I might.
Okay. If anybody's got any other questions, get them over there quick as far as the laser stuff goes.
Yeah, and you guys can find me. I mean, anytime anybody sends me a message, text, whatever, I answer. M Chipser. I'm on Facebook, Michael Chipser, and Wood Chips on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all those other.
Yeah, I got your YouTube link in the show description, I believe. So if you want to go check him out, subscribe, look for future laser videos.
Dan Wickware was asking if the power could be lowered so that candles could be engraved. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So if you have the PWM or the DAC board, you can lower it to a tiny little dot to full power, the full 2.8 watts. If you don't have the DAC board, with Mach 3, you can't even. So here's another key. Here's something we didn't go over. With the laser, without the DAC board, it's very, very hard to zero the laser because when you turn the laser on, it's full power. So you kind of have to guess, and I don't know if Dave has seen that, but with the DAC board, at least I can turn the power all the way down to just see a little tiny blue dot, move my work material that I want to engrave onto that dot, and then I can raise the power back up and go to town.
Yeah. You can also use an MDI command, and they talk about that on the JTech website, where you can put it in and put, just manually turn it on, and it's just enough to see the dot, but not enough to really leave a dot on your material, and you can use that for lining up your zero.
Yep. And in the I did it before category, I have to put a supplement to that wax question. I have engraved on wax or attempted to engrave on wax. It's very difficult because the nature of the material is not one that instantly burns off with a laser. If you have the laser way too hot, part of it will burn off, but most of the wax will melt and it will dissipate the heat to other wax. So in essence, you're not getting a crisp line. And you're going to have to do it very slowly. And there's just certain things you can and certain things you can't do because the wax, by its very nature, is not conducive to crisp, clean lines. Just saying.
If you want me to do that, just let me know and I'll put a video out of attempting to engrave on wax.
Do it.
I don't care.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's not a huge deal.
Cool. We'll look forward to that. Okay. Any other questions? Let's see. I see Keith Allen says, "Can we discuss dust collection systems next week?" We might. I never know what I'm going to talk about from week to week until a few days before. You know, I mentioned last week I went through the post, which I still have pinned to the top of the Gatton CNC Facebook group, and I just kind of took some of the things off. We've already covered Mach 3. We did UC CNC last week. We're talking about lasers today. I still like to get, if Leo's out there, I think I saw him earlier. He mentioned that he uses Mach 4. We maybe get him on here to talk about Mach 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing a Mach 4 talk just to see what the options are.
Michael, I don't think we talked about this, but I know somebody asked a question about, the post processor. Can you give a quick rundown on how you set that up? Like if you're going to use VCar Pro, how you set that up as a tool?
Sure. So on the JTech website, I know I keep referring to that, but they have a setup for Aspire and VCarve that shows you exactly how to set it up. There's a I can just open mine real fast. Exactly how I have mine set up. Man, this laptop is like 200 degrees. It's freaking hot. All right. So on mine, I have it labeled the name 2.8 watt laser. The diameter is the point of the laser, so I have it set to 0.01. The pass depth, I have it set to 0.011. The step over, I have 0.01. And then the spindle speed, that is what's going to control for the Backboard power level. So I have it set to 255. And then your feed rate, I have it set to 1,000, even though I know my Gatton will never reach that. That's what they have listed on the website. And then my plunge rate's 30. So that's what the tool setting set up. When you go to actually make a carving, this is very important. When you have your material set up, on the top right-hand corner of your toolpath button, there's a material setup page. You set that, and you want to set your rapid Z gaps to 0.001. That's very important. Otherwise, it's going to move your laser off your 3-inch mark and go crazy.
Okay.
And again, they go over all that on the JTech website. It's very, very simple to follow.
Yeah, Michael and I were talking earlier before we went live that of course, they've obviously been around longer, but I've had mine probably, 2 or 3 years, something like that, and you've had yours a couple of years.
I think you got yours a little before mine, but yeah.
Michael Mertzke, right after Michael Mertzke, I think he was on Russ Clarity's show or something. I think that's what it was, and I bought one right after that. But
I'm going to share my screen again.
The documentation is a whole lot better than it was a couple of years ago.
Okay, I just shared my screen for the JTech website. It goes over Vectric laser post processor. So it has the gerbil, the Mach 3, CNC Shark, Stepcraft. It has all the different ones. You can add them to a 3D printer, ShotBite. It doesn't have to be a Mach 3 controlled machine. So they have, and here's another thing. They have 2 different versions for the Mach 3. This is what we talked about earlier. The regular Mach 3 version will use your M3, M4, or M5 command to turn the laser on and off. Mm-hmm. But there's a slight delay, and they go over that during the installation. And then the Mach 3 M11, M10 option, which does not have the delay. So that's what I am using. And then they have the millimeter and inch versions there. Let me see. And they go over how to install the post processor, and then here's where it goes over your laser, and it even gives you a little chart right here how the beam is on your laser. So mine is a 2.8 watt, 0.01 for your diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Or so everything. I mean, everything's there, and they break it down, screenshots, everything for you. So, well, and like Dave said, when we bought our laser 2+ years ago, it was not this easy.
Yeah, the documentation is a whole lot better these days than it was back then. So, all right. Well, Michael, we don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you're about to fall out in there.
Have a heat stroke. That'd be terrible.
I did, you know, I was trying to find something to show you at the beginning of the show here. And this happens to me every time when I'm getting something prepared for the show. I'm thinking, okay, well, let me make a special folder to put it in so I won't forget where I put it.
But then you forget where the special folder is?
And I forgot that I put it in that special folder. So but I know where it is now. So I think I still got it. Let me go. Well, let me get one of these up here first. There we go. This is I want to show you. Let me go over here and do the little screen share thing. Wait a minute. I better present first.
The tunnel of doom.
Okay.
Oh,
can everybody
yeah.
see that?
Yep.
Everybody see that?
Nice.
That is Sean Martyrs. He lives down there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is one of his two Gatton CNC machines. I believe this is the one he has in his warehouse.
I love it.
Because I think the other one he has Gatton CNC on the front of that one, but this is his business name here. But notice the cool looking controller enclosure on the left-hand side there. That is, and I was hoping Sean was going to be out there in the chat, but I don't think he is. Yeah. But anyway, he got some, he ran across a surplus place or something, and they were, that is an old kiosk from the airport down there.
Yeah.
I forget. It had something else right where he's got Gatton CNC. It had something else. I can't remember what it, but something about Miami, whatever. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I thought I would show this to you because Sean got with me and said, "Hey, I know where we can get a bunch of these." So I went in with Sean and we purchased, I don't even remember exactly how many, close to 30 of those things. And they have a 17-inch touchscreen monitor.
Oh, sweet.
And I've got some other pictures here too. Move. Okay, here's another view of it. Now Sean has added this this little keyboard thing here.
So cut to the chase, Dave. Where can I get one of these?
Well, what I'm getting at is here you can see he's got his. This is the newest Xylatex kit.
Yeah.
This is the computer down here.
Mm-hmm.
There's the hard drive, and I don't know if there's anything in there or not. But anyway, basically these are like airport ticket kiosk, and they had all kinds of stuff in them. They've got these computers. They had the barcode scanners. They had a printer that prints out your boarding pass and all that kind of garbage. Anyway, these are really nice enclosures. So Sean and I have gone in together and purchased the lot of them, what they had. And like I said, I think it's a little over 30 of them. Sean's got most of them at his house. I have a few here at my house. but we will be offering these if anybody wants one as a controller. And I'm telling you, this. It almost looks like that's molded plastic, but it's steel. That's a steel enclosure. So very well built. You know, and if I can go to this view right here, the Logitech wireless keyboard that I use fits perfectly inside this thing here. So, you know, if anybody is interested in getting something like this, you know, contact myself or Sean. Tell us what you would like in it. You know, if you want a Xylotex controller in it, or if you want to, maybe you just want to buy it as is and build your own. Either way, but we have, like I said, we've got about 30 of these things, and I'm going to use 2 of them. Another thing you can use them for, if any of you guys are, let me see if I can get a. I can't find a good. I guess this is probably another thing that they would work well for is if you wanted to make a like an arcade style game. They would probably work.
A main cabinet.
Yeah. So that's another possibility. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Sean sent me these pictures the other day, and
they come with a touchscreen screen.
Yeah, that's a 17-inch touchscreen monitor. So
touchscreen, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to share with you all. If I can get back.
Those things are nice.
They are.
Yeah. And like I said, they're really heavy duty. They're almost, well, I mean, I guess if you were putting one beside your machine or wherever you were going to put it and not move it, you're good. But if you wanted it to roll around, you know, the frame under it is heavy enough you could put some casters.
So I'm guessing this is pickup only, right, Dave?
Well, you know,
like how much would it cost to ship that thing?
Got enough money. That's that's the only thing. They are pretty heavy. I'm guessing once we would gut them and take the junk that we're not going to use out and then put a controller or something in it, they probably still weigh, I don't know, 60, 70 pounds, something like that. And you probably have to build either a crate or at least a pallet to strap it to it. I'm not saying we couldn't ship them, but you know, pick up
enough money you can get it there.
Or
Dave's near Atlanta and Sean's near Fort Lauderdale. So
yeah, and of course there's always wood shows and stuff coming up. So if you're planning on going to, you know, the next one coming up, other than the really big one in Atlanta, what is it, IWF, which I don't usually go to because that's pretty much commercial stuff. But the little show over there in Klingsport Extravaganza in Hickory, North Carolina, you know, if anybody wanted one, I could, you know, haul them there.
I want one, but it won't be there until next Atlanta trip, possibly.
Okay. But any idea what one like it came would run? I'm not sure what you mean. You mean when it was brand new?
No, how much you're charging for them is what he's asking.
Well, it just depends on what people want in them, you know, and how much we have to do to them. You know, if you want us to set them up with you know, if you want a Xylotex kit or you want, you know, something different, you know, we try to put whatever you want in them, but or if you just
we're talking about the maker community here. Jerry was asking stock, no mods.
Stock, no mods. Okay. Well, I don't know. Sean and I haven't discussed that yet to see what we're. Carlos says, "Are we having a meetup in the fall?" I don't know. You know, I haven't talked to Melinda I bet I haven't talked to her in a couple of months. You know, we had that meetup at her shop last September.
Yep.
And we had a bunch of people there. We had 25 or 30 people there, I think.
That was fun.
And, we plan on, or at least Melinda enjoyed it and said, well, maybe we should try to do this every year. But I haven't even talked to Melinda. She's got a lot going on. I got a lot going on, and I really haven't even talked to her. But I'll just watch my website and Facebook for, upcoming things as far as a bare bone cabinet. I see people asking. But I will, Sean and I will come up with prices and because we don't want to get stuck with 30 of these things. I don't have all of them, but Sean's got a bunch. Of course, he's got a warehouse, but he's got them down there. All right. I hate to say it. We did the giveaway thing last week. Remember that? Y'all remember the giveaway?
I remember it all too well.
Okay.
There was a giveaway last week?
Well, we did, but I'm doing it different now. I'm kind of making you guys do the work.
This is the one where you have to post on the YouTube video.
You have to comment on the YouTube video, and then so whoever commented on last week's YouTube video, that's what we're fixing to do a drawing here, and we use that random YouTube, what is it called? YouTube random comment picker.
Comment picker.
And it'll pick a comment. Well, once it picks a person, that person has a whole week to email me at right here. I showed this last week, and I never heard from that person.
What?
So
you can't even give them away.
Can't even give them away. I mean, it's not like you got to do a whole lot of work. All you got to do is watch the show.
Watch a video, send an email.
Watch a video, and you can even scan it. I know people aren't going to sit there and watch the whole thing. You watch it, you comment because you got to know what the phrase is. And last week it was Gatton CNC is right for me. And then so you put that comment in last week's video, and then when we do the drawing, if your name's picked, you got to know that your name was picked because I'm not gonna post it and say yeah. I'm making y'all do the work now. So anyhow, that person, I don't even know if y'all remember who it was, but he never contacted me. So that one is kaput. You got until the show starts the following week. So we're gonna give away another set of Gatton CNC plans, I hope. And we'll see what we got here. So let me
no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Let me present. Let me screen share.
Now's the time to hurry up and get your comment in, people.
Yeah, if you hadn't already commented on last week's thing, you better get with it. Let's see. Okay, here's the YouTube random generator. Y'all can see that, I guess. Let me go find that video. Come on now. I guess I didn't click it. Instagram. Okay. So we're going to go to this video. Get the URL. Bring it over here. It says we've got 33 unique commenters. So we're going to hit the little random picker here, and whoever comes up will have basically a week to to send me an email at that address. So here we go. Everybody ready? Y'all see the screen?
Yep.
Here we go. Troy Pritchard. And he does have the right comment. Gatton CNC is right for me. Okay. I don't know if Troy's watching or not. And like I said, it doesn't matter if he is, as long as he sends me an email to Dave Gatton at AT&T.net. Got to send me an email and said, hey, I saw your I see him out there.
Troy's there.
I see him out there. But you
He's
gotta
happy.
send the email,
that
Troy.
email, Troy.
That way I don't forget, because I'm not going to try to remember any of this stuff anymore. I'm putting it all on you guys. Okay, now, just so y'all know what the phrase is for this week, anybody take a wild guess what it might be? No guesses. Okay.
Garage Works is for me.
No. Here it is, and I'm only going to show it just for a little bit, so you gotta be watching quick. Laser days are here again. So there you go. That's the comment you'll put in the comment section, not in the chat section. Once this thing comes back as a video, you come back and you put laser days are here again. You know, that will be the comment I'll be looking for.
Hey, Dave, they're asking what the new rabbit hole is.
Y'all want to see my new rabbit hole? I got it sitting right here. It's so dang pretty, I'm telling you what. Let me see if I can get this thing out here.
Getting the trifocals out?
No.
The suspense is killing us.
Yeah, they're guessing
Y'all
purses,
ready?
firearms.
Are
Man,
you ready?
they're all over the place.
Immerse. Someone said immerse.
There
Carlos.
you go.
Is my new.
Oh, snap.
This is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with these things.
The drone.
This is a Mavic Air. It's got a, if I can get it off of here. Got a 4K camera on the front of it. And these things are just so freaking cool. You remember a while back when I got on the 3D printing kick? Well, it's funny how when you're looking on YouTube, one rabbit hole leads you to another rabbit hole. Because I started watching all these 3D printing videos, and I found a guy that was using a 3D printing video, and he printed his own frames for the racing type drones. And of course,
is that Netherbot or Nether? I think I don't know what the channel name is. There's a guy in Waco. He builds. He's a 3D printer guy, and he builds racing drones.
This channel I think is called RC Life or something. He's in Sweden, I think, is where he's at. But anyway, once I started watching, I started out watching 3D printing videos, and then once I started watching some of his videos where he's doing this full, whatever you call it, with the goggles and doing the racing drones,
the VR,
the VR stuff.
Once you start doing, watching drone videos, then you start getting those in your thing. And I started watching some of these, and I've always wanted something like this for a long time. Anyway, I have a couple of. Trevor Carter's got a Phantom DJ.
Anybody else see the dog photobombing Dave?
Yeah, that's Rocky. Yeah, like I said, I got about 200 pounds worth of dog. Jack's right there, and Rocky's right here. But
he stood up for a second. I was saying hi.
Yeah. But anyway, Trevor Carter's got a Phantom, and another friend of mine from back home in Indiana, he's got a Phantom. So I've been, and they post video on Facebook every once in a while. So I've been wanting one of these for a long, long time, and I'm thinking, man, I'll just go ahead and get one. They're not, what am I waiting on? So they also had a big thing on Amazon Prime Day, which this one didn't happen. This isn't one of them that was on sale, but I watched a ton of videos trying to figure out which one I wanted. and I narrowed it down to this one. But these things are, I mean, these are not toys. These have, I mean, they're so sophisticated. This has got GPS in them. It's got obstacle avoidance sensors, front, bottom, and rear. I mean, it's just cool. But I have very quickly become addicted to watching the videos that these guys produce and put on YouTube. You know, going under bridges and flying out over water and just you name it. But the thing about it is, and I've already started, I had to buy a course, and that's one of my little things I'm going to be doing for the next month, probably, is studying that. But, you know, these things, you have to register them with the FAA. And if you're using it for any type of commercial use, and that includes, in my case, if I upload a video to YouTube and it's monetized, that's commercial. So I have to get a Part 107 certification, which is a test you have to study for and take. Yeah, Dave Max says, I have one of the cabin done with the Mavic Pro. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, Dave. It's just awesome video these things shoot. But anyway, so I've got to, that's one of the things I haven't even flown this thing yet. It just came Monday or Tuesday, I think. And this one's cool because it folds up. If I can remember how to, I forgot to fold that up. Folds up. It's real small, compact, easy to take with you when you're traveling. And I bought the what they call a Fly More combo. So I've got a lot of extra things, extra batteries. I put that one back too. But anyway, this is my new rabbit hole, and I'm still going down the 3D printing rabbit hole. In fact, I've had stuff printing the whole time we're doing this show in the next room.
Carlo Verga says, go to Fort Rucker and learn to fly the real things.
Yeah, well, as old and forgetful as I am, I'll be doing good if I can, pass the test. They call it's called a remote pilot is what you're getting, is a 107 Part 107 certification is what they call it.
Nice.
But you have to learn. I mean, it's I've learned a ton of stuff watching videos the last month or so before I bought this. You have to you have to learn a lot of the same stuff regular pilots do, like the weather charts and the sectional charts and all that stuff. But you got to know it to pass the test.
Lyle was asking, could that one be used in follow mode to follow you or wherever you go?
Yes, it does have the follow me mode. It's got what are some of those other things? It's got a tripod mode. I mean, and like I said, the thing's got GPS, so you can raise it up and it'll just stay there. Which I bought before I bought this one. I bought a little cheap drone, which is more of a toy type drone. But they always say you should get one of those first so you learn how to fly it, because with these, they practically fly themselves. But the other one I got has altitude hold, but it doesn't have GPS. So what happens is when you take off, it'll raise up, and if you let off the stick, it'll relatively stay put as far as altitude. But if it's windy, it drifts. So whereas with GPS,
Leo Steger says, give one to a sleepyhead. I wonder to whom he's referring.
Give one to a sleepyhead. Oh,
He's referring to himself.
Yeah. Okay, so Dave Max says, do you know if a full pilot's license lets you do it? Dave, I think I hate to say, I think you still have to get the Part 107 certification, but if you already have a full pilot's license, you already know most of the stuff. There's still going to be some questions specific to drones. on there, that which probably wasn't on the pilot's thing. But
Yeah, Josh confirmed that.
okay, thank you, Josh. Yeah, I was pretty sure you did. But like I said, you could get one and operate as a hobbyist. And even now, I think the registering with the FAA, as a hobbyist, I think is optional. I don't think you have to do it. But like I said, the whole reason I wanted one was to be able to shoot aerial video photography. And if you're going to shoot the video, you might as well post it on YouTube, right? So
I think the registering has to do with how high it can fly or how far it can fly. Like those toy ones, you don't have to register them, but the big ones you do, or something like that.
Yeah,
like I'm near a military installation. Pretty much anything I have has to be registered.
yeah,
and the GPS is on there. Another feature is so it can tell the drone not to fly over airports, military installations. I know there's a few more, but
yeah. Like I said, these things. Anybody, and I can tell some people know some things about drones because of the comments out there. But especially the DJI, that's a
right.
Chinese company that make those. They are the top dog in
The Phantoms.
And the Phantoms, the Mavic Pros, the Mavic Airs, the Inspire 2s, all that stuff. And what is really cool about these things is if you're flying one and you lose the signal on your remote or whatever, or something weird happens, they're depending on how you have it set up, it will, if it loses the signal and it can't get it back, it will stop, turn around to go back to your home. If you set your home position correctly, then it will raise up to a predetermined height that you set in there, because you want to make sure you're clearing trees and, what buildings, whatever might be there. And then it will fly home and get directly above you and then come straight down. So it's just to me that technology is just amazing that it will do all that stuff. So anywho, yeah, I'm going to get the insurance, Dave. Yeah, you can get insurance for them as well. All right. I guess that's it. Y'all seen my rabbit hole. We've talked about lasers. We gave away a set of Gatton CNC plans to what's his name? And I should be getting an email. Michael, thank you so much for
not a problem.
Hanging out in that oven you call a garage.
Dude, I think when I came out here to start it was 108 or 109. I think is what AccuWeather said.
Yeah. Well, this is the Dave Gatton weight loss program, because you probably you probably lost 10 pounds sweating it off there. So,
and it's still, the sun's still out. My garage door's open. The sun's still out.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you sharing with our viewers your stuff about the laser. Also, I do want to say, you guys over there, when you go to put your comment in the video down in the comment section, but of course, I know you're going to put the phrase to try to win the free plans and stuff, but also put what you would like to see us talk about on the show, and I'll kind of use that as an informal poll, I guess, to do. So somebody mentioned, what was it?
Dust collection.
Dust collection.
I want to see Linux CNC and Raspberry Pi CNC and all that stuff too.
Yeah, we could probably kind of, as far as the dust collection, we could probably kind of wrap up a couple of other these things. Some of these things wouldn't really take the whole show, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, if you would, guys, when you leave your comments, if there's something you'd like to see, put that down in the comment as well. All right, Javi, thanks again for helping me watch the chat.
Anytime, Dave.
Congratulations on your new land purchase.
Can't wait. 4 years, and well, it's not purchased yet, but soon.
Yeah.
But yes, we should be closing, and I'll be looking forward to a 4 year taking my time build of the new home and the new shop.
Yeah.
Is there going to be less stuff at that place?
Well, it's let's see. I have a 1/4 acre lot now, and it's a 5 acre lot, so it's 20 times the space, which is extremely dangerous for someone like me. But
Yes.
but the nice thing about a move is if you're disciplined enough, and I am when it comes to this stuff, I will not be taking junk up there. I will just be taking whatever I can use and finding a way to. It's a good way to clean house.
Oh yeah. Excellent way to clean house. Don't pack it. Don't move it. There's no use to move it if you're not going to use it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for watching. We've had, I don't know, 70 or 80 folks watching tonight, I think. So I appreciate y'all. Like I said, leave your comments in the comment section, the phrase and the whatever you want to see, and we'll go from there. And I'll let you know what we're going to be talking about next week. Hopefully, I need to get with Leo too. If I'll have to try to contact him, I guess, because so far he's the only one I know for sure about Mach 4. But I'll have to see if I can get him on it. Maybe we can do a test.
Don't catch him during his nap time.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you a rough time, Leo. All right, we're out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. Try to stay cool and watch out for the storms. I know there's some crazy storms going around too. So everybody have a good weekend, and we will see y'all next week.
Thanks, guys.
Night all.